In addition, in September 2024, during a public rally in Nairobi, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua made public utterances that incited other communities against the ethnic communities that live around the Mount Kenya region by stating as follows, quote, "Na mimi mkaniambia nimsaidie rais kwa kazi, lakini nikiwa hapo kwa serikali nikuwe pia nikichunga mambo ya watu wa mlima. Niendelee kuchunga mambo ya mlima ama nisichunge?" Sasa hiyo kuchunga mambo ya mlima inaniletea matatizo. Ati naambiwa mimi ni mkabila. Mimi ni mkabila kweli? Nikichunga mambo ya watu wa mlima iko makosa? Iko makosa? End of quote. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's utterances throughout the past 2 years undermine the promotion of national unity in the context of Kenyan society's multi-ethnic demography.
Clerk, just pause for a bit. Honorable Senators, just put your phones on silence. Please, proceed, Clerk.
Repeat. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's utterances throughout the past 2 years undermine the promotion of national unity in the context of Kenyan society's multi-ethnic demography and multicultural diversity. In addition, they have the potential to alienate, isolate, and create disharmony among the various ethnic communities of Kenya. In summary, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's above-mentioned utterances over the last 2 years are impeachable offenses to the extent that they grossly violate Articles 10, 2A, B, and C, 27.4, 73.1A and 2B, 75.1C, and 129.2 of the Constitution, and Article 147.1 as read with Article 131.2C and D of the Constitution. Specifically, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's divisive and insightful public utterances over the last 2 years, A, are incompatible with the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, B, can stir ethnic hatred and promote ethnic balkanization of the Republic of Kenya, C, falsely alluded to an non-existent government policy to discriminate and marginalize the populace of the regions and tribes that did not vote for the current administration in the 2022 general elections. Your Excellency, Rigathi Gachagua, how do you plead to ground 1, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Ground 2, gross violation of Articles 147.1 and 152.1 of the Constitution. Article 147.1 of the Constitution provides that the Deputy President shall be the principal assistant of the President and shall deputize for the President in the execution of the President's functions. In addition, Article 152.1 of the Constitution states that the Deputy President is a member of the Cabinet. On various dates throughout the last 2 years, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua undermined the President and the Cabinet and the effective discharge of the national government's executive mandate by making unilateral public statements that were inconsistent with policy positions collectively adopted by the government. To illustrate, A, on or around 30th April 2024, the Cabinet passed a resolution for the evacuation of people residing along the Nairobi River. B, shortly after that, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua made a public statement opposing the Nairobi River riparian evacuation orders, which the Cabinet had sanctioned for public safety and climate change mitigation. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua made contradictory public statements despite being a member of the Cabinet and being assigned the function of superintending the Nairobi River riparian evacuation order. In addition, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has on several occasions throughout the last 2 years made public statements contradicting the President on critical matters of governance and the exercise of the President's functions as a symbol of national unity. To illustrate, In March 2023, at a public forum in the Nyanza region, the President said Kenya belongs to all, notwithstanding how people voted in the 2022 general elections, and that he would ensure the government does not discriminate against anyone. However, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, speaking after the President at another public forum, contradicted him by saying that Kenya is a company in which the provision of government services is based on shares. B. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has made numerous other utterances at public forums where he publicly restates the divisive narrative that Kenya is a company in which the rights of citizens are based on shares determined by how various ethnic communities voted in the 2022 general elections. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's unilateral, divisive, and insightful public statements are impeachable offenses to the extent that A. They undermine the effective discharge of the national government's executive mandate, B. They violate the doctrine of collective responsibility, C. They are equivalent to insubordination of the President, which is incompatible with his constitutional status as a principal assistant to the President of the Republic of Kenya. Your Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, how do you plead to ground 2, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Ground 3, gross violation of Articles 6.2, 10.2a, 174, 186.1, 189.1, and the 4th schedule to the Constitution, that is, undermining devolution. Article 10.2a of the Constitution provides that devolution is a fundamental national value and principle of governance. In addition, Article 6.2 of the Constitution provides that governments at the county and national levels are distinct and interdependent and shall conduct their mutual relations based on consultation and cooperation. These provisions are supplemented by Article 189(1) of the Constitution, which provides that governments at each level shall perform and exercise their powers in a manner that respects the functional and institutional integrity of government at the other level. Under paragraph 7A of part 2 of the 4th schedule to the Constitution, county governments are responsible for trade development and markets as an exclusive function. Moreover, the Deputy President chairs the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, an essential organ for consultation between the two levels of government. On or around 20th September 2024, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, recklessly, unmindful of the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President of the Republic, unlawfully interfered with the running of Nairobi City County Government by holding a public rally in which he incited citizens against lawful directives of the Nairobi City County Government on the planning and relocation of markets. Further, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua publicly disparaged the leadership of the Nairobi City County Government and its decisions. Moreover, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has interfered with the proper discharge of county government's constitutional functions regarding alcohol control and regulation. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's insightful and demeaning public statements and conduct are impeachable offenses to the extent that A. They undermine devolution, B. They undercut the functional and institutional integrity of county governments, C. They unjustifiably vilify and ridicule the leadership of county governments, especially the Nairobi City County Government. Consequently, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has grossly violated Articles 6.2.
Clerk, just a minute. I realize what you're reading is fairly long. His Excellency the Deputy President, if you may will, you may sit, and when taking the plea, you may stand.
No, Mr. Speaker, let me stand.
You may proceed, Clerk.
I repeat, consequently, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has grossly violated Articles 6.2, 10.2a, 174, 186.1, and 189.1 of the Constitution, as read with the 4th schedule to the Constitution. Your Excellency, Rigathi Gachagua, how do you plead to ground 3, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Ground 4, gross violation of Article 161 of the Constitution, that is undermining the institutional and decisional independence of judges. Article 161 of the Constitution provides that the judiciary shall be subject only to this Constitution and the law, and shall not be subject to the control or direction of any person or authority. Many international law instruments, treaties, and principles require the guarantee of the judiciary's independence and require all government officers and institutions to respect and observe it. In 2023, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, recklessly, unmindful of the high calling and dignified status of the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, and the need to respect, protect, and uphold the independence of the judiciary, made a scathing public attack against the Honorable Lady Justice Esther Maina, Judge of the High Court of Kenya, and falsely threatened to file a petition for the removal of the said judge in gross violation of Article 165 of the Constitution. The Honorable Judge had presided over a case in which His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua was a party and had, in the lawful performance of her judicial function, ordered His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua to forfeit to the state the sum of Kenya shillings 200 million, which she had found to be proceeds of corruption and money laundering. His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua's public attacks against the judge are impeachable offenses to the extent that they undermine the functional and decisional independence of judges. Your Excellency, Rigathi Gachagua, how do you plead to ground 4, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Ground 5, gross violation of Articles 3.1 and 148.5a of the Constitution, that is breach of the oaths of office and allegiance.